Good morning. Welcome to the Cruisewell restaurant. This time, I would like to bring you to our show, which is the learning method online about the beverages on the ships. Let us to start. The meals and the beverages on the ships is very important because this is the big business. And now we talk about the beverages itself. Basically, the beverages on the ships that are sold to the guests are divided into two classifications. Number one is the non-alcoholic beverages. Okay, and number two is alcoholic beverages. The next, we are talking about the non-alcoholic beverages. Okay, the non-alcoholic beverages will be divided into four major classifications. Okay, let me go back. Okay, we are going to start with non-alcoholic beverages. The non-alcoholic beverages will be divided into the function first. Okay. And this function will be number one for stimulating, number two for refreshing, and number three for nourishing. And I'm going to describe number one. Okay. Okay, I would like to go on with the non-alcoholic beverages. The functions of the non-alcoholic beverages will be three functions. Number one is for stimulating, number two for refreshing, number three is for nourishing. Alright? Let's go to the description of number one. As a stimulating beverages, it's gonna be the coffee, hot tea, or other kind of remedies. Those three kind of examples, actually, a certain effect will influence the nerves behaviors if someone has that. And number second, alright, let's go. Number second will be, alright, for the explanation of the second function is for refreshing beverage. This is actually only for killing the thirstiness due to the weather, usually the hot weather. For example, the natural mineral water, spring water from the mountain, which is clean and hygiene that has been clinically tested. Something like aqua, Evian water, Perrier, or Pellegrino, which is famous in America. The next one. The other example is the artificial mineral water, which is clean, hygiene processed, water flavor with carbonated. Okay, the next example of the refreshing beverage is syrup. Syrup is made from sugar with a certain flavor of fruit. and it should be mixed with the ice cubes. Another example is squash. This is concentrated fruit essence and sugar. Number 5 is crush. Crush is something like squash. Normally will come in the can. It is ready to drink. Usually it is diluted with water. Number 3, the other function of non-alcoholic beverages is for nourishing beverage. Nourishing means that the drink will contain the fat, calorie, or other nutritional items. For example, juices like orange juice, like prune juice, like tomato juice, like apple juice. Those are containing of calorie. Could be some fat. Milk. This is definitely containing a lot of calorie and fat. Another one is cream. Cream is also containing a lot of fat and it's heavy. Chocolate. Chocolate is also containing high fat. This is no good for those who don't want to be fat. Alright, those are some function of the non-alcoholic beverages. Okay, now we go to the next classification of beverages is alcoholic beverages. Due to the name of this beverage is containing of alcohol. Okay, and the content of alcohol is depending on what kind of drinks. To have the alcohol in the drink, they will process by way of distillation, fermentation, infusions or maceration, by which the alcohol content is gained. Okay, let's go quickly. Fermentation is using mainly yeast. The yeast will break down, or the yeast will ferment the molecules of fruits or sugar, and then it will create the ethyl alcohol, okay, and CO2. The second process is distillation. Okay, distillation. It is done by applying the heat to the wine or beer or ethyl alcohol, vaporizes to be cooled into hard liquor. Number 3, the other process to get the alcohol content is maceration. This is done to the proof spirits, usually brandy. Okay, it is placed in a tank with the crushed fruit pulp. The mixture is steeped like tea for days or months, and then it will create a glorious wedding of interest. Okay, let's go on. Now we are going to the alcoholic beverage sections. Okay, the alcoholic beverage will be categorized into some of the beverages. Okay, it's good for you to know. Number 1 category is beer. Okay, beer. Number 2 is spirits or liquor. Number 3 is sweetened brandy or cordials or liqueur. Liqueur, because if you don't pronounce clearly, it will be hard to be understood. Number 4 is wines or champagnes. Alright, now let us talk about the beers. The majority of the beers are brewed, then fermented from malted barley and cereal grains, then flavored with hops. In processing the beer, there are some ingredients needed to make the beer to being consumable. Those ingredients are: 1. Barleys and cereal grains as the main ingredients. Number 2. Hops. Hop is a kind of wildflower which is giving a hint of bitter flavor in the beer, and it stimulating the digestion and preservation. Number 3. Sugar. Besides for giving the sweetness, sugar will be chemically broken by some yeast additive into ethyl alcohol and CO2. Number 4. Thinning. This is for clearness of the beer. That's why if you look at the beer in the glass, mostly they are clear, crystal clear. Okay, number 5. This is the main important one. Water. In the beer, water is dominated the volume. Almost 90% of the volume of the beer will contain water. Okay, now we are going to the whiskey. Okay, don't be messed up with the written. Whiskey. This is only the style of the English, British and English America. Okay, the meaning is the same. Okay, whiskey is strictly regulated spirit worldwide with many classes and types. The typical unifying characteristics of the different classes and types are the fermentation of grains, distillation, and aging in the wooden barrels. Okay, on the picture you will see various kind of American whiskey. Okay, it is the stocks in the store. Mostly the American people will call their whiskey as bourbon. Okay, as bourbon. For example, the brand of the bourbon or American whiskey is Jack Daniels. This is Jack Daniels. Jim Beam. This is Jim Beam's. And then here, even though it is not clearly seen, this is the Wild Turkey. Alright? Next, beside the American whiskey, they have also whiskey from Canada, and normally they call Canadian whiskey or rye whiskey. Okay, some example of them will be this one, Canadian Club. This one, Canadian Club whiskey, and then Seagram. This is Seagram. And also VO, very old Seagram. Okay, those some brands of the Canadian or rye whiskey. The next one, beside those whiskey from Canada and America, there are also some whiskeys from Europe, which is very well known, and some of them are from Ireland. That's why they will call them Irish whiskey because they are made in Ireland. Okay, some of them, okay, if you look at the picture, there will be Jameson Irish whiskey. This one, Jameson Irish whiskey. Okay, and then you will see, it's not clear, but I can read Appleton Irish whiskey. And another one, sorry, I cannot see this. Okay, here we go. The various Scotch whiskey. Okay, according to the name, is Scotch. It means that those whiskies are made in Scotland. Okay, that's why people say Scotch whiskey. Okay, this kind of whiskies are very famous in the world, and one brand of them, one or two brand of them will be this one, G&B. Okay, Scotch whiskey. This is Chivas Regal, and this one is Glenfiddich. Okay, and the very famous one is Johnny Walker. That will be some series, which is Johnny Walker Black Label, Johnny Walker Gold Label, and Johnny Walker Red Label. Those are the Scotch whiskies. Okay, next one. And the American whiskey itself, or bourbon, which is available in most bar on the ships, will be as follows. Okay, number one, Four Roses. The brand. Four Roses is the name of the brand. Okay, and the country where this bourbon come from, the United States. Okay, from the region of Kentucky. Okay, and it makes from the grapes. Okay, and the name of this whiskey is bourbon whiskey or American whiskey. Next one, Wild Turkey. That is the name or the brand. Okay, Austin Nicholas. This is the name of the proprietary. Okay, 8 years means that the whiskey aged in the barrel for 8 years. Okay, the product information is from the states, from the state of Kentucky. Okay, and the age is 8 years. Okay, 8 years. No, we are not talking the price. There's now it's different. Okay, next one. This is Seagram 7 Crown whiskey. Okay, this is from the United States. Okay, they call also bourbon whiskey. Next one, Jack Daniels. Like I have mentioned earlier, this product is also made in the South American part of the United States. Okay, from the state of Tennessee, this one, the state of Tennessee. Old Granddad. Okay. The brand of the bourbon is Old Granddad, right, from the States. The next one is Taylor. Taylor is not that famous in on the ships, so this is usually used for pouring brandy. Alright, let's go on. Next chapter, you will see the rye or Canadian whiskey. These products are distilled in Canada. Okay, and let's go to the brand of them. Number one, Crown Royal whiskey from Canada. Okay, this is less expensive because there are some other brands which is more expensive. This one is a little bit more expensive, Crown Royal whiskey. Okay, and this is also classified to being rye whiskey from Canada. Another one is Seagram, VO. VO stand for very old, okay, from Canada. This is the famous one, not that cheap and not that expensive. That's why it is familiar for them. The name is CC or Canadian Club Whiskey.